Hello friends, happy Monday. Welcome to my live, and if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. Once you hop on the live this evening or you hop on the replay at a later date, please feel free to say hi in the comments and to tell me where you are watching from. I happen to be in Central Kansas. I'm also live in 2 locations this evening, so if you hear me refer to a comment that is not in your feed, that person may be viewing and commenting from a different platform. And also, during the project, if you like what you see and you think others should see this, or you just want to help out my channel, please feel free to spread the craft love all over Facebook and YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button, hit that heart button. Tag your crafty friends, invite them to watch along with you. Again, not only that really helps my channel get seen by new eyeballs, but it also helps you. It tells the algorithm that you like this kind of content, and it will start pushing more content like this into your feed. So I hope that you can help me, and then I can help you. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's go to the comments. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. And I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera so you can see the project. Whoops. Just lost myself. Okay. So we are using an old 2018 transfer. This one is called Santa I Can Explain, and my apologies that it's retired, but I bet some of you that have been with me for a while probably have this in your stash. We're going to use the Son of a Nutcracker, and then we're also going to use a current transfer called Sugar Plum Fairy Productions, and I'm just going to borrow one of the Nutcrackers from this transfer. So you can still get this. I did put a cart link in the description of the video, so after the video is over, you can click that link and go check it out. It will pop everything Chalk Couture related that I'm using tonight in your cart. You can add or subtract as needed, but it's a great, easy way to check out all of the projects that I am using this evening. So with that, let's. My surface tonight is going to be a couple of, I may not do both of these, but a couple of faux pallet signs that I created with 5-gallon paint sticks. So you can see the ruler markings on the paint sticks. I used 5-gallon paint sticks, plus I cut 2 or 3 regular paint sticks up to use as bracing on the back. I faux stained them with Waverly Antiquing Wax. And then I distressed this one with some Crimson Waverly chalk paint, but it was a little too orangish red for me. So then I went over it with some, I think some Folk Art Java chalk paint and kind of gave it a little bit more of a barn red look. I still am not satisfied with it, so I think we're going to go over it with my original Waverly Snow White chalk paint. So I think that's what we're going to do. I do have a second one here that I have stained, and I might distress it later, but I don't know. So my intent is to put Son of a Nutcracker here, and then I'm going to use one of these tags up here, and I'm going to chalk one of the Nutcrackers on this tag. And I'm pretty sure I may have to cut off part of his boots, but we'll see how it works. So let's get this one distressed real quick. So if I can get it open. How is everyone this evening? Hope all is well. Did everyone have a great weekend? Did anybody do anything fun? I tried to get a few more projects progressed. I'm never one to get things quote unquote done. My goal is always just to progress the projects a little bit farther in their completion. That way I'm not disappointed if I don't get anything done. And I have a feeling this is going to end up pink. Yup. My white is probably going to end up pink. We shall see. So I'm not going for perfect. Just kind of that aged wood look. And I do have a feeling my white is going to turn pink. We shall see. So we may let some of it dry. And then we'll go back over it and see if we can cover up that pink. Hello, Miss Bonita. She said she had a fabulous weekend and her heart is full. I believe her daughter came up and surprised her. They were going to do some retail therapy. I hope it was helpful. I'm glad you had a great weekend. I hope I can get this looking a little more white versus pink. That's usually what happens when you paint over red paint with white, even though I painted this last night. So let's give that a little bit of a dry and see if we can go over it again. So you just have a couple more days to get the gingerbread Couture kits if you have not purchased it yet this month. Also, if you are a designer or a Club Couture subscriber, don't forget you can order extra gingerbread house surfaces. So you can always order extra of those. And then I also wanted to remind you about the 25% off site-wide sale that ends Wednesday evening. I believe it ends the 29th. So make sure you check that out. I have all of those links in the description of the video. This way. Just trying to give it a good dry, and then I'm going to go over it a little bit more because some of my white has turned pink. Anita said she took advantage of the discount and ordered some new chalk paste. I need to do the same thing. I definitely need to do the same thing. I know I need silver, shimmer silver. Check. Hold on, let me check one thing really quick. Sorry, I'm still here. I was just checking on something. Okay, let's go over. I don't know if the camera picks it up at all, but there's just a little bit of pink tinge. I don't think it shows up on your end as much as it does mine. Of course, I'm going to lose a little bit of that. I'm not the best painter. I need to start watching some more distress painting videos. I just don't want it to be pink. I've gotten rid of quite a bit of it. Let's check down here. That's a little better. Okay, we'll get that dry, and then we might be ready. I might add a little bit of wax, of dark brown ink wax to age it up a little bit more. Oops, I lost myself. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna get out. Let's just experiment while we can. I'm gonna try to see if I can disguise a little bit. Disguise the pink and bring a little bit more of that base brown back in. Like I've got a pink spot here. And I'm just taking a stencil brush and some Dixie Belle Best Dang wax in brown. And this stuff a little bit goes a long way. Of course, this may not help my cause a little bit, but just want to add. Might help disguise some of that pink a little bit. No, I may be making it worse. It's not great, but let me get where some of these edges are a little raw, make them a little darker. Get in there, maybe use my finger. Probably just made it worse. Getting a lot of junk. Okay. Got some trolls. Okay. I'm going to give it a little bit of a sanding just because it's not very smooth. And that might help. Oh yeah. That's probably what I should have done to begin with. When in doubt, sand it out. And then that gives me a smoother finish. Okay. Works every time. Okay, so now let's get our wax out, our wax. I'm just using the Minwax finishing wax. You can use the Couture wax, which I have linked in the description of the video. This is just going to protect your painted surface and your transfer. It's going to keep one from sticking to the other. So Benita's asking why I painted it red first. Because I originally stained it with the Waverly antiquing wax, and I thought, because since I always use white paint, I thought I would change it up and use red, but the red crimson Waverly chalk paste is like orangey red, and I didn't like it. I wanted kind of a deep red. So then I, what did I do? I think I painted some kind of dry brushed some Java folk art chalk paint on top, which was way too dark. So then I just went back to the original white that I was going to be, that I didn't want to do in the first place. So that's why it ended up red. But I actually don't mind. I kind of like the red being the base. I just forget that when you paint white over red, it usually turns pink. So that's what happened. I could have used white paste for my lettering over the red paint, but that just is not my, I don't know. I just really like this look, so I should have just stayed with it. But I was trying to do something different and not boring, but I should just still stick with what I like. Okay, so if you're new to Couture, this is a silkscreen reusable transfer stencil. This one happens to be a size C. It is a 12 by 18, so it has multiple designs on it. We're just going to be using this son of a nutcracker. So I'm just going to write the word back on the back side. Because these are reusable, I want to make sure that when I'm all finished cleaning it and it's dry and ready to be stored away, that I put the transfer on this side and not the other side. You'll also notice that there are some suggested cut lines. You can cut this transfer into 4 different pieces like it suggests. I, however, for now, I'm going to keep this one intact. I may cut it up just because these are more like B-sized transfers individually. So I try to store my transfers by size of surface that they fit on. So because even though this is a C, if I stored it in my C's, but I was looking for a transfer with that fits a B size, I won't necessarily go look at my C size transfers. So I will cut this one up and store it with the B size because that's more of the size that it is. I hope that makes sense. So I basically store by size of the transfer or the design. So like some of the B's size that are letter size will have like 2 different designs. So in my mind, those are technically 2 A size. So I will cut those apart. Or actually I'll leave them together, but I store them with my A size transfers. This one is a technically 2 B size. So because of how I store my B size, I will eventually cut them apart. But for, sorry, to go around in a circle, instead of cutting it apart right now, I'm just going to score it. So I lift up a bit of this transfer, and then I'm just going to score down that line. I hope that makes sense. But I just found that when I was looking for, in this instance, if I was looking for a B size transfer and this was in my C size transfers, it would never get considered for a B size transfer because that's not where I go look for B size transfers. So I started like with the C size and some of the B size. I will cut those apart and store them with their correct size. And going back to Miss Bonita's order, I didn't realize that Couture had released a 12 by 18 fuzz towel. So if you do not have a 12 by 18 fuzz towel and you're trying to fuzz a size C transfer with 2 fuzzing cloths, you might want to go pick up that 12 by 18 fuzz cloth. It is definitely on my list of things to order. I didn't even know we had it. Also, the placement tape has gone from this tiny little, oh no, it is still 5 yards. I thought they'd increased it. I don't know what one of the old ones is. Have they always been 5 yards? I guess they've always been 5 yards. I thought it was bigger. Never mind. Delete that thought. Okay, so I'm going to put my nutcrackers. So yeah, that's about right. So I'm just going to burnish this onto my surface, mainly focusing on where the silk screen is. And then I got two colors out. We can either use black velvet or we could use ash. I don't have a preference. I thought we could use ash just because I'm always using white or black with white, so we could switch it up just a little bit. Let me know what you think. I guess I can open them and show you what. So there's black. And then ash is kind of if you mixed black velvet and storm together and had a baby, ash would be it. So it's kind of a darker gray, kind of a charcoal color. So you let me, excuse me. You let me know what color you think we should do. I'm going to get a squeegee out. Jason says ash. And then, I wish my tags were just a bit. Probably going to have to cut off the feet, because I think part of his hat's going to get, oh, well, we'll have to see. Benita also votes for ash, so ash it is. So this is one of the en vogue colors, so unless they decide to release this one as a regular color, it will go away at the end of the season. So if you don't have ash yet in your stash, you might want to get it in your stash. Okay, so I'm just taking my small squeegee and I'm going to try to go with a lighter touch than normal, because this palette, or this faux palette sign, has those grooves where each board meets. That is going to lead to a little bit more possible bleeding and seeping through those join places. This also is, I believe, one of the, based on how it feels, it's one of those stencil transfers that came through when they weren't as sticky as normal. So now I'm just evening out my squeegee lines so that those don't dry in my ash in my stash. So that they don't dry in my design. Then I'm going to gently peel up. This is my favorite part. Perfect. No weeding, no fussing, no losing punctuation, no vinyl wadded up in a big old ball. I had to weed 3 things this weekend, and I thought, oh, this is not for the faint of heart. So you do not have to weed, cut, or design anything. It is all done for you. Isn't this a phrase from the movie Elf? Doesn't he say son of a nutcracker? You can't quote me on that because I've only seen it once and I was not a fan. Don't hate me. So there is our phrase, easy peasy, son of a nutcracker. So now we need to decide, oh, before I forget. So to clean this is easy peasy. I'm just going to take it to my sink. I've got a little tub that I put it in. I fill the tub up with just a skosh of water, get it all wet, kind of reactivate that paste. And then I use a board eraser, which is kind of like a magic eraser without all the chemicals in it. And it will help get rid of all of the paste. And then once it's clean, I air dry it sticky side up for about 15 or 20 minutes. Actually, overnight, sometimes 2 days, because I forget. Don't do what I do. And then it's ready to store away and for use again later. Actually, these two inset guys are a little smaller, so I might be able to get away with them. So let's put this to the side. And then we'll get out our Sugar Plum Fairy Production transfer. And then I'm going to get out this tag and my wax. I'm going to wax again. Jason says, yes, it's from Elf, and Elf is terrible. We went for years and years and years without seeing it, and everyone just raved about it. Oh, you've got to see Elf. You haven't seen it yet. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, we forgot we're not Will Ferrell fans, and it just was, it was horrible. That and Nacho Libre. Ugh. Nacho Libre was terrible too. Sorry if I offend anybody by saying that, but I'm just going to sand this one off camera so all the dust can go to the floor. Just going to get the edges of this one. Okay, probably should have done that before I waxed, but okay. So I'm just gonna lift. Hold on, before I get. You can pretty much tell the back on these nowadays, but if you're using older ones, it's not a bad habit to keep writing on them. That way you don't forget if you happen to pull out an old one that you haven't used. But this side has a little bit of yellow tinge. You can see the difference. So on the newer ones, you can tell that this is the front side and this is the back side based on the yellow tint. But some of the old ones you can't tell. I don't think I'm going to fuzz just because it's mostly silk screen. Hopefully I won't regret that. And I'm just going to pop it under. Get it as close to the bottom. He's just barely going to fit. I'm going to lose the little ball on his top of his hat, but that's quite all right. It's actually the whole of the tag is going to end up being the ball of his hat, which I am a-okay with. So on this one, should we use, hey Miss Ashley, so We used ash on this. Should we make the Nutcracker black or keep it ash as well? Try to find some like Christmas plaid fabric in my stash that will add a little bit of color, but do we keep this one ash or do we go a little different and do black velvet for the Nutcracker? Probably, actually, it would have been really pretty to have done Son of a Nutcracker in cherry. But I also just kind of like neutral farmhouse as well. What say ye? Ash or black? Okay, while you guys are deciding, I'm going to try to find that plaid fabric. I probably should have gotten it out ahead of time. Actually, I found it. It wasn't that hard. Ashley says black, so I'm kind of thinking, this. Yeah, you can't even tell I painted it with red. She said in the video the ash looks black, so she says black. Miss Bonita says, okay, well, let's try black and see what happens. Stretch. Okay, let's pull this. Okay, I need to add, looks like I need to buy more black too. I'm about out. Same thing, using a mini squeegee this time. Put any excess back in my jar. Peel it up. Perfect. Okay, so we'll just lay that back down, and again, we'll clean it the same way we cleaned the other one. Move it out of the way. So that's what that's going to look like. Bonita says, well, now that you have the fabric down, it changed the color. I can see the ash now. Yeah, if you look at it by itself, it looks, it does look black sometimes. This works. It would have been really pretty to have done like a cherry. But this is fine. Okay, I have to show you guys. Look at that Nutcracker's face. Look at those fine, let's see if I can get it to, look at the fine lines around of his eyes and his nose. There is no way to do that with vinyl. You would lose the pieces. You might be able to get away with it with HTV, but with regular permanent vinyl, there's no way. There is absolutely no way. That's just crazy. Okay. Now we get to do the fun stuff. This is I've had this fabric. Oh my gosh. I think I bought it to make, I don't even know. It may have been, I think I've had it since we lived in Lawrence, to be honest. And that was pre-2000. I'm almost positive. In fact, I know I am because I think I don't know. I don't remember but I bought it a long time ago. So we're just going to I'm just going to pull off a big hunk. Just so we don't have to mess with all of it. Okay. So then I'm just going to cut smaller. I'm actually going to cut it in half. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this part in half just so my strips are a little smaller and a little more manageable. So I made a ribbon bow the other day for a primitive star with the Holy Family transfer. I'll have to post a pic. I didn't like it. I really like these fabric tassels. Okay. I'm going to cut a wider strip to tie around the sign. Hopefully this is long enough. I'm going to put it toward the side. Okay. So then I'm going to hold it down. Okay, and then I'm going to cut that in half. And now we're going to cut this one into strips. So just make little snips at the bottom. A ½ inch, an inch, it's kind of your preference, 1/4 of an inch, and then you just tear. My apologies if you have any earbuds in. I think Jason had the game on earlier. Ashley's asking if anybody's watching the Chiefs play. What's the score, Miss Ashley? Ooh, this stuff frays. I hope they're not watching the Chiefs. I hope they're watching me. But maybe you have two things on. Okay. I should probably add different colors, but maybe not. So I'm just going to kind of crisscross them. These two are my originals. And then I'm just going to tie them. This might be a bit long, but... Ooh, some of these ends are yicky. I don't know. I'm going to just kind of give it a shake. I don't know if I like that. What do y'all think? Okay, then I need to figure out how to tie that, and then I happen to have a jingle bell here. We might be able to use that. Okay, so now I need to figure out, I probably should have used more, but I just try not to go overboard. And then I always, oh my goodness, Miss Ashley, she got a wild hair and started washing windows. Whew. Miss Bonita said her husband is a Commanders fan, so this is a tense football game to watch in that house. I bet. We're not the biggest Chiefs fans. Of course, we're big Eagles fans, but Jason's cousin is a big Commanders fan as well. She lives in Oklahoma City, so she's yelling right along with your husband, I'm sure. I'm just winging things here. Actually, I think I know what I should do. I'm going to turn on my glue gun. I'm going to put this loop through the back thing of the bell. Then I'm going to put my loops, my tails through my loop. And that will be the perfect spot for the jingle bell. And then I think I'm going to tie this around, actually, backing up. Let's get another piece of this. I'm going to try to cut a thinner piece, maybe. And then it won't look so out of place. I think I only need half of it. Okay, so this will be a little bit more difficult just because I'll have less. It's going to be bulkier. So if you have bulky things that you want to try to get through like tag holes or something, I just cut up little pieces of twisty tie and I'll use that kind of as my needle, like that. It makes it super easy. So now we'll thread that through my bell. Bada bing, bada boom. I always just have these little pieces laying around. Like if you buy a toy, like if your grandkiddos get those toys for Christmas that have the big old long twisty ties that connect it to the packaging, save those and cut those up, and it makes perfect little threaders. Okay, so now I'm going to tie this around my fabric knot. Oops, where did that go? Right there. Now it won't look so out of place. Of course, now I hope it doesn't cover everything, or my bow doesn't cover up my... In theory that works, but I think it's going to cover everything up. I could probably just get away with hot gluing the tag to the... Let me give it a good shake. I'm going to have to pull it up a little bit. Which that won't be too bad. And I think if I just drop it there, I should probably have made my bow a little smaller. I don't know. I guess it's... This may run it, but I make it a little smaller, shorter. Is that better? Worse? I don't know. Some greenery might help. Ashley says, have we turned our heater on yet? No, we have not. Have you? I'm living in my hot flash era, so I like to be cold. So no, we have not turned ours on. It's a little chilly upstairs, but Ashley says that's better. Okay, I want to glue the knot down just because I don't like a floppy. I don't like it to flop around. Ashley's turned hers on. Okay, so then I think I'm just going to glue this kind of right underneath the bow in a few spots. We'll just push that down. I'm just going to keep hacking on it until there's nothing left. It gives it a little bit more volume, I think. how about that? And then I have this little guy that I've been stealing. I don't know, since I already glued it down, I don't know what it would look like. Yay, nay. I'm not very good with this kind of stuff. Or if I stuck it down that way or stuck two on one on either side. Is that too much? What do you think about that? Benita says she turned hers on this evening. We probably will in the next couple of days since the low is supposed to get down to 30-ish. Do you like that, the greenery right there? Is that too much? What do you think? Jason says he likes that. Benita says she likes it with the greenery. Okay, let's stick it in there then. I think I got this at a Walmart. I'll have to go find some more. I really like it. Okay. I'm not for sure if I got it recently. Okay. Let's jab that down in there. I need to get something different. Get my multi-tool out. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a dab of glue there. Shove that down. Cute. I like it. I'm going to have to make me one and put it near my Nutcracker collection. I don't know if that got stuck down. Benita says she likes the greenery. Ashley says she likes the greenery. Jason. Okay. Very pretty. I like it. So that's what it ended up looking like. Okay. Let me show you from the front. There is our son of a nutcracker. Son of a nutcracker. I think it turned out cute. I like it. And there is the greenery and the bow. And a little jingle bell. I like it. Thank you for all your help. It turned out cute. So now I have to decide. Well, I should probably make 3 because I think we'll have stuff at Raised Rustic, and their holiday open house is Wednesday through Sunday this week. So check out Olivia's Facebook page at Raised Rustic because she'll be showing off sneak peeks. Jason says he loves it. Benita gave me heart eyes. Thank you. And then the Salina Downtown Holiday Open House is Sunday the 2nd. So I'll have some stuff at Flipping Fabulous. And I think I need to confirm with the owners, but I think I'll have some stuff at Watkins Tree Farm. And I believe they open up, I don't know if they open up the weekend before Thanksgiving or Black Friday. I'll have to check, and I still have to confirm with her. She'd mentioned it, but I don't know if it's gotten any farther than that. So now I just got to figure out where I want to take him, or I need to make some more. I have one more palette sign, and I probably have another sign I can use, but that turned out cute. Thanks for your help. I'm so excited. It turned out really pretty. I do need to cut this one off. It's a little too long. Okay, I'm going to hop off. I will be live again on Wednesday. I don't know what my project will be yet. I have so many ideas. Not enough time. Anybody else have that problem? Just me? Okie doke. Thanks for all your help. I'm going to hop off. I will see you next time on Wednesday. Hope you have a great rest of your week, a great couple of days, and I will see you then.